She calls herself an accidental marketer. Jamie Christensen is in the studio. She's with Fuse Associates, and she's going to share her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
She calls herself an accidental marketer, and that happens a lot these days, doesn't it? You're heading down one path, and then God has another plan for you. Jamie Christensen with Fuse Associates is in the studio. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So your background was finance?
It was finance, yes. I thought I wanted to be a portfolio manager and manage billions of dollars and live the Billions TV show life, and then realized I don't really care for math.
So, you kind of need that.
Yeah.
So how did marketing come along?
I wanted to stay close to finance. My degrees were in finance, and that was the one area I could go into that I was good at.
And you've had some really big corporate experiences working with the Fortune 500, and share with us your journey in corporate America. What was that like?
Sure. I spent over 15 years at an institutional asset manager, so worked a lot internationally with pension plans and government entities and handled all of the marketing for them and loved working internationally. But then had the opportunity actually to come down to Dallas. So previously I was in Iowa, came down to Dallas and worked for a similar firm that instead of having 15,000 global employees, they had 80 employees all in Dallas. So a little different feel for it.
Sure. Okay, so what, I took the bold decision to leave Channel 4 to start out on my own, and I remember how risky that felt. What made you decide to start your own firm?
Well, it was a mutual decision with my prior employer.
Okay.
But it was one of those that I was finally in a location, because Dallas is an amazing place for business.
Yes.
It got me down to Dallas, and I thought, well, when else should I jump off on my own? So I was just ready to be my own boss.
I love it. She has a beautiful website, and she has an amazing team. And one of the things that you're known for is kind of this soup to nuts approach. Mm-hmm. They don't have to come in and hire 15 different marketing companies. They can do it all under one roof. Mm-hmm. Talk about why that's so important.
Yeah, what I find with the businesses that we work for is if they take a piecemeal approach, there's no one looking strategically at overall what they're doing. And often they're not sure if they're using the right type of person, if they're even solving their needs. So for us to be able to come in strategically, look at what are their overall business goals, how does marketing fit into that, and then how can we put an appropriate program together for their budget makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's been featured in a number of different publications. I found one. Let's just go ahead and put that on the screen and scroll down that. Shout out DFW. And they did a great job kind of talking about your why. Mm-hmm. So why don't you share with us, why you do this? Why are you passionate about this?
I love connecting people, ideas, whether that's business owners to to their perfect clientele, or my team members to new opportunities, or my networking partners. Everything to me is about connection, and marketing and communication just plays into that perfectly.
All right, tell me your favorite client story so far.
One of my favorites, and it's hard to choose, I don't want to upset anyone, but one of my favorites is a gentleman here in Dallas who has a phenomenal business. He wholesales med spa products. And when he started, or when he came to us, he was doing great, but hadn't been doing any marketing. So sky's the limit for him. And we came in first he was a little skeptical of, can you really do anything? Came in, started with SEO, search engine optimization, and a few other small things. But we started off slow, and within 8 months, he had 40% more business.
Wow, that's amazing.
And he already had phenomenal revenue. But what was great about him, and is great, first, he's just awesome to work with. That makes a huge difference, having great clients. But it's Jamie, we trust you. We know your team. Just tell us what to do and let's do it. And so anytime you can build that kind of relationship, it's fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I love it that you're creating a lot of content. I want to pull up your blog page because you tackle a lot of different marketing topics that I think are interesting to your clients and prospective clients. How do you go about choosing the stuff that you write about?
It's so easy. Every day something comes, there's some piece of content. We're getting ready to do something on AI. AI doesn't take the place of marketing, but it's in everyone's business. So, this content is everywhere.
Yes. And what makes her journey even more impressive is she had a tremendous health setback in 2019. Mm-hmm. Can you share?
Yeah, and it was a secret up until very recently. I was in a car accident, and it seemingly shouldn't have been a bad thing, but I had a really bad traumatic brain injury and had to stop working, actually, to let my brain heal. And anytime you tell an entrepreneur they can't work and they can't use their brain, which we're in the knowledge business, yes, it's really, really frightening. So I took off pretty much for 4 months, relied on my team, and then slowly started back in. But through that, and even today, I still work very differently than I did previously.
But Jamie, nobody would ever know.
Thank you.
And you volunteered this right before we went on. She said, "Do you want me to talk about my brain injury?" And I said, "You know what? I think that makes your journey even more incredible." Yeah. So, what would you like people to know about brain trauma?
It can be healed. It's not easy. I think recognizing it's a very scary thing is important, and the brain is an amazing thing that can regenerate itself given the right environment.
Well, congratulations on your success, and I know we're going to hear a lot more from her in the future. We're going to end with her website, which is fuseassociates.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.